The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Bennelong.
Deputy Speaker, the truth is Australia has not had enough homes to meet the needs of its people for a very long time. This is not a problem that has emerged overnight or post-pandemic. It's a crisis decades in the making. We are here not because of migration, as the Liberals would want you to believe, but we're here because of poor governments, poor planning, underinvestment and an indifference to housing in general by all levels of government for a long time. And because of it, rents are up and they continue to rise. Buying a home is hard and becoming harder, and it's hurting people and it's hurting our economy. Deputy Speaker, on housing, I really fear for our state in New South Wales and our nation. I fear for our young, who have grown up with parents who could afford a home on a modest wage, but who themselves cannot, often earning higher wages. This inequity of this reality is becoming increasingly unpalatable. In New South Wales, half of our young people are leaving the state. People cannot afford to live in Sydney or the regions, and they're going elsewhere. The Premier State cannot continue to be great without our best and brightest in it. And in my electorate of Bennelong, I want to do everything I can to make young people welcome by making housing more affordable. I want Bennelong to be a vibrant hub for young people to study at our 2 local TAFEs and at Macquarie University. Then I want graduates to work in the Health and Tech and Innovation Precinct in Macquarie Park or establish a business in one of our vibrant town centres. And I want them to do all that whilst living locally, in student, affordable, social, build-to-rent and market housing that is accessible. To do this in Bennelong and across the country, every level of government needs to align. In my 10 years on Ryde Council, 19,000 new dwellings were approved. 13,000 of those were in the 5 years that I was mayor. And Deputy Speaker, I copped a lot of flack for that, and I danced a fine line between heritage, low density and more affordable high density. But at the end of the day, I took the approach that building more housing was the right thing to do for young people. And even with that record, we were held back by a state government that didn't allow for more affordable housing, and we had a federal government that simply just did not care. And that's what makes me proud to be part of this government, Deputy Speaker. We care. We care about delivering more homes. And we're not just yelling from the sidelines, as you just heard there from the Greens, and we're not blocking progress, as the Liberals do. We're actually getting involved in the delivery of more housing across the country. Our $32 billion Homes for Australia package is historic. And despite the political and economic headwinds we face, it is delivering. By directly investing in the construction of new homes, by directly investing in growing our workforce, we will deliver more homes, which will help with affordability. Our $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund will support the construction of 30,000 new social and affordable rental homes over the next 5 years. Importantly, in the short term, it will turn market housing into non-market housing and will get more approved dwellings off paper and out of the ground. However, we also recognise that while we work towards these long-term goals, there are immediate needs that need to be addressed. And that's why we've raised Commonwealth rent assistance not once, but twice. That's why we're working with state governments to invest directly into public housing, reform renters' rights and land significant planning reform. Deputy Speaker, there is so much more to be done. This problem is so acute that we are in a national crisis. And usually, in a crisis, this parliament usually works together. But on housing, we're not seeing that. What voters must know is that we have bad faith actors in this parliament who are putting short-term politics over building more homes. 2 significant measures are being held up by an unholy alliance between the Greens and the Liberals. Together, they're stopping Australians getting government help to buy their first home, and they're stopping 160,000 rental homes being built by blocking tax reforms to incentivise their construction. I say to the Greens and to the Liberals that you cannot fix a housing crisis without building more homes. This has been decades in the making, and it cannot be fixed overnight. We went to the election promising to help with the housing crisis, and in 2 years we've made so much progress, but I fully acknowledge there's much, much more to do.
Question is that motion be